Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ramblin' Parts with me, Cone Dodger, Kart Mac, and ZK, the masters of mistakes, showing you plenty of other mistakes that you can make around the internet buying cars because, well, we're all out of money. Really, we've made our mistakes,
And
and
now we have to live with them.
well, I think one of us, if we're gonna just like get right into the topics here, I think one of us is already at the point of wanting to get rid of their mistakes. Bury it.
ZK, do you have something to say for yourself?
Does anyone want a sub? But no, no, I don't want to get rid of anything.
No, I'm pretty happy with my mistakes.
Kurt.
This is simply a matter of space and time. And I have a one car garage. Who let me buy 3 discreetly different cars?
You did that.
Me. Well, it was kind of always the plan. We're talking about the SVX. I just wanted a summer car. It unfortunately took the vast majority of the summer to get up and running properly with the new radiator and whatnot. But yeah, I need to record a YouTube video apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. I haven't even seen that.
No, only then am I allowed to sell. And then hopefully it goes viral, and then what I make on the YouTube video I will make up for what I lost over the course of ownership.
It's not gonna happen.
No, but it's the dream. But yeah, no, I that was kind of the plan. I didn't plan to keep the SVX forever. Didn't plan to have it in the first place. But it's going to be one of these things, like you said, Cone. You've never been able to just buy a car, have fun with it for a couple months, and then be like, bye, and sell it.
Right.
And ZK, I believe you and your garage is a living, breathing museum to that fact, right?
Good Lord, ZK. What is your number right now?
Well, so
you have to count your brother too.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. The Roadmaster was number 12. Technically, since the last time we talked, there's a number 13. But that's a distant topic, and that's not even in the United States at this point, so we don't have to count it.
I think it counts.
It doesn't count unless it's across international borders.
Well, there you go. Just push the sob out to sea, and it won't be a problem anymore. Oh man, this is no country's problem anymore. Well, I guess since last time recording, when you were in the airport, well, you sound a lot better than you did in the airport, for one, and for two, any regrets with the Roadmaster, or is that a enjoyable experience?
That was went way better than expected experience. All in told, we got there, after missing like all of our flights, and every flight was delayed, and so we arrived in Virginia at like 1:30 a.m. But everything else was great. We did go through the whole experience of not being able to find tires because what's a 75 series tire? Like, why doesn't everyone stock one of those?
Yeah, that's a problem that I'm now more aware of than ever.
They're like, we got trailer tires and all-terrains. But we did get tires on it because the front tires were like 11 years old, and I wasn't going to drive home on those. I got an oil change, and then we drove 1,400 miles home.
Well, you stopped at certain points. You certainly made it into like a family vacation, which I think is hilarious. You stopped in Atlanta, and you met up with myself, my brother, and my father. Were there for the Road Atlanta historic race. So you met up with us, and then you met up with Mock, I believe.
Yep, we met up with Mock the next day for breakfast.
You also went to the Coke Museum in Atlanta.
Yep, that was a very strangely creepy experience.
Yeah, that place looks weird. That looks like corporate overlord weirdness.
Yeah.
But you did it.
Like Disney, but for sugary, high fructose corn syrup drinks.
I think that's pretty much
Yeah.
what Disney is also, but yes.
A few less rides, but yeah.
And then you went to one of the things that I list on my top 10 list, must go to things as anybody that likes anything remotely related to vehicles. And that is the museum at Barber Motorsports Park.
Which was completely unplanned. It was more like, well, we're going to go this way. We're going to go through Birmingham instead of the southern, I forget which highway it is, or interstate, but we went like the northern route. And Bonka was just searching like things on the way and was like, oh, this is kind of here. This looks really neat. Let's go stop there. And then 4 hours of sensory overload later, that was a really cool place.
It's very cool. I don't even want to I never even want to describe to people what it's like, because it's one of those places you just need to experience. But it's not very full of itself. It's very much so just hey, this is our collection of things.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. I remember it being pretty cheap and very empty. There was never a huge crowd in this place.
Yeah, we were there on a Thursday, Friday, whatever day it was, but it was the middle of the day and there was no crowd or anything.
So where do you go from there? Because you were headed from Virginia to Texas. I know there was a couple more attractions along the way.
Yeah, so we went from Atlanta, and our goal for the end of the day was to get to New Orleans. So we stopped at Barber and spent a few hours there, probably longer than we planned on, but it was completely worth it. And so then we spent the night in an old mansion in New Orleans, which was kind of weird and creepy and cool. And then had the best breakfast we've ever had in the morning, and then drove the rest of the way home.
Did you have permission to stay in the mansion?
It was like a hotel Airbnb type thing. But every room was different. They had 12 or 14 rooms or something like that.
Well, the place you stayed in Virginia was weird too, right? So a couple of haunted.
Oh yeah, it was what do you call it? Like an Art Deco hotel place. It was built in the 80s, but it feels older and creepier.
Well,
just like me.
Yes.
But yeah, the Roadmaster did perfectly fine. It doesn't like going 55 miles an hour. The transmission doesn't quite like that. It'll go 70 for hours and hours and hours on end. And if you stop and are in traffic and it gets hot, it starts misfiring a little bit. But other than that, for what I paid for it and 1,400 miles without any stops other than gas and fun stuff, it was no problem. It was very fun.
Did you find the flyaway panel?
No, unfortunately.
No. Are those difficult to replace?
Yeah, because they all fly away. So you can get them on eBay for about $80 a piece, which is a lot for a piece of trim. And you also have to get them painted too, because they're not color matched usually.
Wow.
For those not it was in your stories, or maybe you put it up on the Ramwin Park stories, but there's just a little plastic trim piece over the B pillar or C pillar or something like that.
I don't know. There's a whole alphabet of pillars in that thing.
Yeah. It went on its own journey.
Mm-hmm.
I did sit in the back, which was an experience because I may have as a kid. I just don't remember it. I blocked most of things out of my memory, but it was so much roomier back there than I expected.
Yeah, an actual normal size adult can fit back there and be comfortable.
There's more room back there than there is in the entirety of the inside of the Datsun. I will make that.
You're not wrong.
So, well, that was a cool trip. I'm glad that it worked out for you, and that I'm glad that the trifecta is complete and we can move on with our lives.
We can start to recuperate the losses.
There's always, round two.
No. Oh man, we're all gonna need this show to do a lot better before there's gonna be round two. One last thing to cover. I said last time in the comments that there was an Easter egg and the two cohorts here did not ever pick up on it. That whole episode, when we were looking at the folder structure, I rearranged my quick access things to spell out Roadmaster in the folders. So if you were really, really paying attention to those pixels, you would have known that there was a Roadmaster coming from the very beginning. I can't believe nobody found that.
I can't believe you went through the trouble to do that.
I will go to many lengths to make bad jokes. Let's get into the ads, though, with Ranwin Parked. And I think you all know that the Roadmaster is coming this time. But it's not. It's a 1968 Chevrolet two-door C20. And this is a Camino Ranwin Parked. This was sent to me by my dad, who is a, I guess, fan of the show, but also like #1 critic of the show. But he said that this would be a shoo-in for us, and it certainly is. This one is in caps Ranwin Parked, and holy cow, it is grown into the world.
Really trying to figure out what's going on with the house on the bed. Like, it looks like a rabbit trap.
It's not really a house. Okay, well there you go. It's more of like, I think, a extra storage camper kind of thing. Like, I don't feel like it was a living compartment as much as it was a storage compartment. However, the only thing living in there now is nature.
Yes.
That's some very high quality mold and mildew. There is an engine that looks like it has... I always get a little bit of a chuckle out of these people that say Ranwin Parked, and never once do they ever have an air cleaner on the carburetor. Like, this was obviously not just left in this condition because it was running. It's always a treat. So good find, Camino.
Comes with a few spare tires in the bed. All of them mold.
And a little bit of nature.
The canopy. It's a lean-to now.
You have to get a title and a and like a, what's it called for a house? I don't know. I'm not an adult. I don't have a house.
It's a title.
Do you get a title for a house too?
Yeah.
I mean, I barely ever get titles with my cars. I'm certainly probably never gonna have a title for a house.
This just looks like it looks completely out of place. It looks like literally in a jungle with no access on any side. Like, how did this get back here?
There's another truck back there, I think. If you look real deep.
Is that a truck or a cobweb?
Your guess is as good as mine. A lot of tires. A lot of tires out there.
Tires, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There's a wheel, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That one. Can we get pictures of that one?
Something.
That sucker's in there. Yeah, this is very much so the area
that
I'm
a jug
around.
of grit?
It says grit.
Grit. What does that mean?
Maybe like sandblasting grit? That's
look at you. You're so clever. You know so many things. How did this happen?
I just realized that like those leaves and branches are inside the cab.
Oh yeah, they're growing in.
Despite all the doors and windows being closed.
Go to the next picture of the rear. Is that tree actually living?
I think it's a branch that fell on it. I think.
Okay.
I've been waiting to find one that has an actual tree growing through it, because that's the ultimate. That looks like a ladder. You think they're living in that thing? Do you think they're selling their house?
Ladder.
I'm worried now. There's a lot of jugs. I don't want to know. But speaking of knowing a lot of things, I also found this 1995 Buick Roadmaster estate wagon. And as far as I know, this is yours. Like, this is basically what you were looking for.
Mm-hmm. It's purple. It has the panels. I need those.
Yeah, hey guy.
This one is $3,000. And if you're not watching, let me tell you, the grass around it is up there. And the patina is strong. This thing has been sitting out here for a while. It is described as, I know she looks rough, but these cars are getting harder to find. The motor ran when parked last year. It turns over but will not start. And this one is $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel as though if you ever needed a little bit of justification for your purchase, this one ought to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when people catch wind of word. This is not somebody that thinks their vehicle is worth $3,000. This is somebody that caught wind of the fact that these were starting to go up in value and went, I remember we parked one of those out in the field in 1992, 3 years before it was made.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an annoying part of being a car person, is the inflated values of vehicles based on like word of mouth rather than actual value is really annoying. So
Yeah.
you did quite well.
I am very pleased with my purchase. This is 191,000. Mine was only 162.
I don't think you need to compare too much. This thing is ragged out.
Because like there was like a Haggerty article. This it was like February. It was the beginning of the year, and they were like top 10 cars to buy for bull market. Blah 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 blah. Cars investments, and like the Roadmaster was like number 9 on the list. And I was like, oh no, I need to buy one quickly.
Honestly, you were late, but you got lucky, I think.
Yeah, I got really lucky, and I might have been like the first person to actually contact them. And thankfully, they didn't think I was a scammer, even though they were the nicest, oldest retired couple in the world.
That's pretty similar to how I ended up with the ramp truck. I was just kind of the first person to actually contact the person. Because a lot of times these, I don't know what you call them, fad cars? I guess they're fad cars, even though they were a fad 30 years ago. You know, they're not. these were a thing then. But anyway, the cars like that get a lot of people that are just dreaming, and they send messages, and they have zero intent of actually buying. So a lot of times I think if you actually put in the effort and have the mentality of, I'm going to buy this, you can still get a good deal.
Apropos to nothing, did you notice how much some recent bids and auctions on Bring a Trailer for Subaru SVXs went for? No reason. Just stirring the pot.
Would you consider?
You know, it's only like $100 to list a car, right?
Yes.
Is that a yes of like you have one like in the cart ready to buy the ad?
No, that's how much it is. But considering how much it would probably go for is not what I'm looking for.
I don't know, just throw it up there, no reserve. What's the worst that could happen?
I told them to
What
sign
is
the
the
dashboard.
worst that can happen? Sign the dashboard. Yeah, it's a famous celebrity car.
Throw in a few stickers.
All right. Well, let's see what Kurt's ran when parked is this week.
Today, we have a Project Toy, which I'm assuming is short for Toyota, 4Runner, bobbed. It's been bobbed. Ran when bobbed. For $1,200, you can get a Toyota 4Runner 94 that has been bobbed. It's been plastodipped, apparently, in a very bright teal color. And like 2 feet off of the back have been chopped off for unknown reasons.
Surely it
I
wasn't
don't
just in a
understand
rear-end
it.
collision.
True. No, that would never be a reason to chop off the rear half of your car. It is a ran when parked. I forgot what terminology they used, but
Overheat
work
problems. Drives.
Work truck till it quit running a few days ago. Work truck until it quit running a few days ago. But it was reliable for 7 years.
Yeah, thanks.
That's any indication of the future.
Thank you for letting us know that you got the last 7 years of this thing's life out of the way. Oh, man. I must... Wait. Okay. I'm trying to determine some logic here. Work truck till it quit running a few days ago. Just spent $500 in parts. I must be missing it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that line. This is poetry. It's a
Haiku?
it's art. Haiku.
Almost?
That's the word. Thank you.
Plus pump 0 water or overheat problems. Drives, handles road well.
Plus pump 0 water. Well, see, if you also plus the pump, this is a math problem. Plus pump 0 water equals overheating problems. Ba-bow! I figured it out.
Right. Yes. If you drain all of the water out of it, the coolant will not overheat. I got it. Figured it out.
So it has a blown head gasket or a cracked head.
Because it's a Toyota.
Yeah.
I think that's the least of the problems.
Yeah, I didn't even consider the fact that it probably got in an accident, and that's why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, given all of these El Camino conversions I keep finding around here, I just figured this was yet another in a weird line.
I feel like if you were going to do that, you would want some bed, right? Like, they could have had an extra 2 feet of bed space.
Right. Exactly.
But it got hit by a semi-truck.
His work truck, yeah. He's got tubes and tools and stuff in the back there. I don't know what sort of work.
And a lot of expanding foam.
Yes. Some plywood.
Oh, whoops! There we go.
Oh, hey!
I am basically CSI. I am essentially a crime scene investigator. I didn't even need to see this fender to know. Oh, yikes! Don't they have inspections by you? How does something like this get through?
I'm sure it was fine when he registered it, and then this happened, and you don't have to like return to continue being inspected. We only had emissions, really. I don't know that there was really, unless like it's the first time, or like you need a new title. I don't think you really need to get a car.
I mean, the
inspected.
tires look new. The windshield wipers probably work.
A compliment sandwich.
Yeah. It's gonna need it.
So yeah, and here it is, just parked in like the commuter
There's a
parking
sub.
lot.
Well, yeah. There's like, where was this up? Oh
There,
yeah,
in the
there
back.
it is. You can always see those 3 spokes wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like down by the marina.
Yep.
You can buy this and then go sail away from all the problems you just inherited.
International waters.
Yeah.
Anything's legal.
This is a slippery slope.
Yes. Continuing on.
Continuing on, ZK.
We have a 2002 Ford Ranger long bed. Just a normal last generation Ford Ranger. What?
Stance Nation.
Stance.
Oh, yeah, Stance Nation. It's really low. It's got stretch tires, all the stickers. It was running really good a few years ago. It's got a 5.0 swap in it, a manual 5-speed trans, lowering kit, all the good stuff you want in your mini truck.
Oh.
And this is how it is now.
What? Okay, I thought that
Yeah,
center hub was like the axle
Right,
angle,
yeah.
but I think the hub is just, or the center cap is just off.
Jeez. Talk about clickbait.
Yeah, so this was like, one of those magazine, quote unquote, mini truck builds, and it looks like it's just been left in the field and all parts stolen from it.
They did it twice too. Like they snuck another one in there. Like no, we cleaned it up. Just kidding, we did not.
It's got the used tires in the bed, just as you do. It's missing the taillights. Plenty of fauna.
Texas, what does that say? Wake and scrape?
Wake and scrape.
Stance Nation.
It's they're not quite as advanced as California or Washington or anything. There's no wake and bake out there, but they can wake and scrape.
There's many parts in the back. An engine block? Is that an engine block at the very end?
It's either that or like a transfer. Oh, yeah, it's an engine block. Oh, I bet you that's the 4-cylinder from the thing. Assuming that there's actually a 5.0 under the hood of this anymore.
Well, the hood is obviously mostly crooked. Maybe it's wrecked on that side.
Yeah, they never show us that side, do they?
No. In
Well,
any of the pictures.
Yeah, I guess
Like
they do.
specifically cropped out, yeah.
No, yeah, they don't. Well, I guess this is that side, right? Because this is passenger. No, yeah, they never show the driver's side. Well. We're getting
It's
bamboozled.
just like, yeah, it's like, so there's this mini truck, you know, car show build thing that then just deteriorates. Truck was very nice 3 years ago. That's a rough
No.
3 years.
Yeah. What time scale are we on here? That's like a Kurt J. Mac getting ready to stream 3 years right there.
Wait, I gotta think about that. I'm doing the math.
Means it was a very long time.
Yes.
It's okay, there's another Ranger right next to it that didn't get to meet
Yeah,
that
you-
fate.
You can get the taillight spec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't what possesses someone to build a car and leave it to rot?
Saab?
He's completely just muted that word out of his vocabulary.
Right, yeah.
That got broken and left to rot. That was different.
Well, that's probably what happened. They built it, they broke it, and then it was like, well, screw that thing.
And unlike me, they have a field. That makes sense.
Right, yeah. Fields are a big advantage towards car hoarding. Kurt.
That's what's keeping me alive, maybe. I don't have a field to fertilize, yeah.
Yeah, don't get a yard. It'll end up looking like this.
Yep.
Especially out there. Get that undergrowth. Texas, you can probably leave things out and they'll still look like this in 10 years, really. However, it may have water up to the roof a few times.
Like I've been
Don't
driving
talk about
the S.
that.
What? I've been driving the SVX around, but even I kind of was cleaning it off, and just in little crevices and stuff, I got like moss growing, and like what?
Yep.
Collecting. Like, what is this madness? It's the same as like all the roofs of the houses around here. You got to get them cleaned, or else they'll start to be covered in various plant life.
Have any pine cones made their way inside yet?
No pine cones yet. Very glad that there is no pine cones yet.
That's the line in the sand right there. Alrighty. Now the next category is I'd make that mistake, and yep, I really hope that there's not something in here that somebody has bought, because we need to stop.
Yes. We're very deep into the realm of hypotheticals with this segment now.
Alrighty. Okay. I
Sure
make
we
the
are.
commitment. I have purchased nothing because I have nothing to exchange goods for. But mine comes from late night watching the Motor Week videos. They do a segment called Retro Reviews where they just repost their old reviews. And this one came up, the 1987 Chevrolet Sprint, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Basically, in the 80s, Chevy was buying, or they were buying cars from like Suzuki or smaller Japanese or Asian car manufacturers and rebadging them as Chevys because they couldn't make a vehicle that was economical, essentially. And it's like that would be a neat little autocross car. And as if the entire internet is connected together, this was presented to me. 1987 Chevrolet Sprint Turbo. You can tell it's a turbo because it says turbo on it in many places.
Oh, you got the finger.
Got the finger.
Got the finger.
No real, I have no real attachment to these kinds of cars other than the fact that they are very cheap. They were so cheap that nobody kept them. Everybody just got them and then disposed of them after they were done with them. And now they are exceedingly rare little automobiles that would be a really fun little part-time autocross car, which is something that I've considered. Is the 240 is extremely fun, but it's also a lot of work and a lot of stress kind of keeping it going. So having something that was, like a bone stock category and would be fun to throw around would be something I would like. And I think something like this would be a terrible way to do it. So I'd probably do it.
This one's it says manual transmission, but that looked a lot like an auto.
It's just a T handle on it.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, it looks like one of those Hearst handles.
Ooh, this is a controversial thing. I got into that discussion with my dad and my uncle, and they were both like, "No, yeah, the T-style shifters are great." And I was like, if they're so great, why has nobody made one in like 30 years? There has to be a reason that was not a desired thing anymore.
This is
I really
one of these days we're both gonna or all three gonna choose the same car, because I have in my backlog of I could use these for the show. Also a Chevy Sprint Turbo over here.
That would be hilarious.
It would be. But yeah, the one I have, it's going for 4,600.
4,600.
I know that's still a lot.
It's probably
But
in better shape.
It is in better shape. The interior's there, and it doesn't have that crazy
Mexican
shit knob.
blanket in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Those are great. Very
It's always a sign of a quality vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like the little intercooler intake that they just chopped out of the front there.
It's a really cobbled together vehicle for sure, but for its time.
What was it actually?
I think it's a Suzuki. I believe it is a Suzuki Swift. I think I'm not 100% sure on this. That was very, very late at night. I couldn't sleep, and this video was pushed into my eyeballs, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And
so this is like the precursor to the Geo Metro or something, essentially.
Right, yeah. And the NA made 50 horsepower, and the turbo made 75.
Hey man, it's 50% more.
Yeah. 45 miles to the gallon.
A Suzuki Cultus.
Cultus
was the Suzuki
version. Like a cult? Like a cultist?
It's Cultus. Cultus.
Oh, Cultus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good luck finding one of those. They might not have even brought them over here. This might have been just them bringing it over and putting a Chevy badge on it.
Probably.
But I would do it. For a minute.
Kind of like the what was that Subaru little tiny hatchback?
Yeah, you had one on here.
Yeah, same kind of size and honestly setup, sort of.
What is that called? I'm gonna let you think on that one.
Or the Corolla FX, whatever.
Yeah,
another little tiny hatchback.
Well, speaking of Subarus.
Neat. Speaking of Subarus.
Mm.
How about? Wait! Did somebody make a noise?
That was ZK, yes. And I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was like a or like a
I feel it was more of a
Oh, okay.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. But what we have here is a 2001 Subaru Impreza 2.5 RS, and these are neat. It's go ahead.
They're probably the best Subaru that came to the States, in my opinion.
Compared to the SVX?
I can hear people typing right now. I hear right now that you saying that. But go on.
Yeah, I would make this mistake because as much as I like my Subarus, obviously, I don't buy into the WRX, the STI, WRX, whatever, the modern ones, the whatever. It's first of all, I like to afford my car insurance. I don't know how much difference it is here, but this is kind of the pre-WRX car that kind of gets a little bit forgotten. But again, these are cars that probably aren't very well taken care of, so it's hard to find one that is in any sort of respectable condition. This one seems okay. Prices might be a little bit high. Mismatched wheels.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just I like the shape. It's a coupe. I'm not a big fan of four-door sedans. It's got the unnecessary many vents in the hood, the rally hood, which was also used, like, you could find that hood on like Outbacks and normal Imprezas, even though if they don't have the turbo, they still
Right.
put fake
Well, correct me if I'm
tanked
wrong.
hoods.
These are non-turbo.
I
Are
think
they?
they are turbo.
I feel like they are not turbo. I feel like we did not get the turbo version of these. The 2.5 RS was the bigger engine, but non-turbo.
To the wiki.
To the wiki!
To the internet. But yeah, I'm a fan of the coupe look, and it could pass as like a normal car.
Well,
it could pass as a normal car. That's my that's my qualifying reasoning.
that's
for
your
any car
qualifier?
purchase.
You own an SVX. That doesn't
You are
qualify
correct.
as a
It is
normal
naturally
vehicle.
aspirated.
Yep. I
Okay.
think this is essentially a WRX everywhere else, but we only got the body package. We didn't get the actual rally
Okay,
version.
so yeah, that explains what I'm remembering. Is that like it's kind of like a WRX, but an STI, but doesn't have the good motor in it. But it's also the only coupe of the sporty cars that Subaru ever brought here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in other places, this car is worth almost nothing because there was higher versions of it. But because this is the highest version we got, these are worth a little bit more over here. I feel like $5,000, you're not getting a lot of bang for your buck with this one. But
It's still cool looking.
people,
I really like
yeah,
the front end.
people love them. Like, they love the look of them and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Note I'm using the word people.
People.
People. So yeah, see this one. Like I said, there's other ones for sale around here that are not as kindly looking.
Well, yeah,
And
they get a little boy racered up a lot.
oh yeah,
This
I
is
think I know somebody that wrecked 2 of these.
Look at the level of effort on the license plate
I know,
covering
front
here.
and back, with the towels or whatever those are.
Yeah.
no fingers in this shot.
Okay. But you can really get some nice scenic pictures up there. Down here, what do we have? Just undergrowth. Meadows.
Swamp. Parking lots. So yeah, they're neat. Not, I've been perusing some of the older Subaru. Not that I'm looking
Well, yeah,
or anything like that.
I heard that one of your pipe dreams was to trade out your daily driver, your XV, for an older Subaru.
Yes, I've been looking into, or just looking at, or setting up alerts for Outback XTs of the 4th generation, like the 2004 to 2009.
The boxy ones that are not too tall and SUV-ish looking.
Right, before they went to the current kind of body style that gets, I mean, they still have ride height, but they still have that kind of slanted, slick kind of roof line.
I've seen a bunch of those, like, quote unquote STI'd out, like they turned them into an STI.
I'm just looking at, it would be, because again, I've mentioned this many times, I don't drive very frequently, so having a 2015 model year car is nice, and they're safe, but it'd be nice to instead have a little bit of cash in my pocket and get like an older fun car or something like that. So I don't know, but yeah, these also, I don't think I would be able to use this as a daily driver.
I think Juno's gonna be super happy with the backseat.
No, exactly. So yeah, keeping with a wagon or hatchback is something more what I'm looking for. But these are neat. Neat. Click.
ZK.
Oh.
What?
So what we have here is a 1962 AMC Rambler. But
Excuse me, that is not what it says.
Are you sure?
it says Chevrolet AMC, which is incorrect. But if you read the first line of the description, AMC Rambler Rat Rod 12-valve Cummins. And it's the initial shot is of the rear with really wide rear tires that stick out past the fenders.
If you're not watching, I'm going to try to describe it to you. Voluptuous.
Yes. That's also an angry butt. I would consider that an angry butt.
Yeah, it's got like angry eyebrows at least.
Yeah.
Celica inspiration here. So everything's wrong with this. You're aware, right?
Everything is wrong with it, which is why it's perfect.
Yeah, this would file under mistake.
It's got the jack holding up the side exhaust.
Yeah.
Piles and piles of parts in and around it. And a 12-valve Cummins up front.
What's going on in the background? These people know mistakes.
Frankenstein here.
Yeah, this is
And his monsters.
This is some kind of horror movie here.
No steering wheel.
Yeah, I was like, wait. The front seat.
Pedal control.
It doesn't even look like there's a place for the steering wheel to be, because it looks like it has a custom floor with
And the
no
shifter
holes in it yet.
The shifter is like in the passenger seat area.
I'm trying to figure out what that tube is on the left. Is that like part of a potential roll cage, or
This is an exhaust cutout.
Yeah, just sitting in there.
Yeah, that's just a part.
Okay, it's not fixed. Okay.
No. I hope not.
MSD ignition just sitting there.
Yeah, well, it's on the quote-unquote firewall.
With the hole in it right behind it.
Yeah. That's no longer a firewall, that's a fireplace.
It's got center lines.
There's
and like a fuel tank sitting on the floor.
Fuel tank on the ground to try to get it running.
Oh yeah.
The line hooked up.
There is absolutely no saving this thing.
No, but
it's filed under mistake I'd make.
That scares me.
Cummins swapped Rambler with a really wide rear end.
Yeah, what even is the rear end?
I don't know, but it's glorious.
And I like that it's $4,000. The engine and transmission alone are worth $3,000. Will separate engine and transmission from motor, body $2,000. The body is worth $2,000. What's even left of the body?
I'm sure they have the rest of it.
Look what they've done to the inside of the thing.
You don't like the Budweiser shifter?
Oh god, you didn't see that.
This is drugs in an automotive form.
So what's the deal with the Cummins engine? I don't know the.
It's an inline
special
six,
or not.
It's a diesel. It's a turbo diesel.
Oh, okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a truck turbo diesel.
Yeah, out of like a Ram 2500 or something. And the 12 valves are special in that with a few little things they can be like 700 horsepower and like 1,400 pounds of torque or something ridiculous. Probably not this one, but they're known to take modification fairly well.
If I was a shallower man, I would title this episode, "What's the Deal with the Cummins?" But I won't, because I'm self-respecting. Unlike ZK, who put this under mistakes he would make.
It's one of those projects that I wish would just be done. Like, I see this guy, I have this guy's vision in my head, and I like this, which is a screenshot of a screenshot on his phone. Like, I understand his end goal here, and I really like that idea. It's probably never going to happen, but I do understand.
I'm glad somebody does. All right, Dad, if you're still watching, you have to at least be in agreement on this one. You don't really usually agree on my old car opinions, but this is beyond the layer of cool to me. This is Frankenstein. This is hacking to me.
I agree with Z. If it was done, like in its whatever that done state is, seeing that at a car show would be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But that's as far as I would take it.
I think I'm having a little bit of sensory overload right now, so we need to like calm down and get into some mildly interesting vehicles, because there can't be anything that obscene here. And I'll start mildly interesting with this 1992 Pontiac Bonneville SSE small I.
The rare eBay listing.
The rare eBay listing, yeah. These got brought up on Discord, I believe, from Ant. He was kind of talking about the 90s aesthetics to automobiles, where their designs were boring, but they just kept adding lines. And
You mean
this
like
is the
modern
one,
cars?
kind of, but different. There's no grills. Like now,
I was
it's
gonna say
grills.
they just keep adding grill today.
But this is the one that struck my mind, because I remember in like 95, 96, whatever, I thought these were cool.
They have the window sticker. And
Yeah, this
also
is-
those wheels.
Mm-hmm. This is very much so, I believe, kind of the height of 90s Americana aesthetics.
The over-designed 90s bubbly, let's
Right.
stick as much stuff on as possible design.
Yep. Like they didn't really do any extra design. They just
The
kept
good
adding.
Pontiac smoked head taillight things.
I still think it's cool. I just know now that these were not, fantastic automobiles. This one is
There are so many buttons.
freaking phenomenal. Like there can't be a lot of these things that are still in this shape, because they got run out. Like they got used.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what this was like reserving for. 3,800, so that's kind of a lot of money, but it's something that if you were longing for the era, pretty good find. Was there an engine shot? It has that famous
Ooh.
3,800 supercharged engine that General Motors put in all their front-wheel drive, quote-unquote, sports sedans.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really good motors. Everything I know about this motor is they are pretty much bulletproof. If they're not very powerful, they are at least very strong. So yeah, I was mildly interested.
My high school friend of mine, his first car, this is just giving me flashbacks, was a Pontiac Grand Prix. What was like the sporty version of the Grand Prix? Was it like a GX?
GTP. I believe.
GTP, yeah, that's right. And just the shape,
Grand toilet paper.
the bubbliness of it is just giving me flashbacks of that.
Yeah.
I don't think it lasted very long, but
Those wheels, though. I can't get over the wheels.
So along the lines, oh yeah, by the way, in the ad, it's sure to be a future collectible.
I thought that said furniture collectible. Like, yeah, it's probably comfortable.
I guess it's the collectible in the sense of Radwood status,
Right,
but beyond that.
And then I found this one for $700, and I think really, really good grocery getter car. At least I would run it. For 24 hours in this thing, it's going to be comfortable. It's going to be quicker than a Roadmaster. And I could see doing like, some kind of silly spray painted, jazz solo cup, design on it. And, really enjoy your 90s weekend.
15 miles a gallon city.
That's probably optimistic. And just wait, there's more.
Oh my.
This thing kept going up into the 2000s. And
That's a different body style.
yeah,
Or at least refreshed.
this was on the bigger chassis, similar to like the Impala SS of the era. And look at the wheels on this thing. And look at this weird like canard on the front of it.
Oh, GM.
So they went for a while with this.
Ooh, those fog lights.
They're out there.
Yeah, they
I
are.
miss Pontiac.
Yeah, that was kind of Pontiac's thing. They just took, and in their like dying days, they basically just took a regular Chevy and tried to extra it, and it was all visual, but still pretty interesting. This is an era of cars that I would say generations growing up now probably have no recollection of. So this would be completely
easily forgettable.
Yeah, they would have no idea that these kinds of things existed. Whether or not they should be preserved or not, I don't know. I'm not here to say that. But it looks like some people are. And that's mildly interesting. Kurchak.
I think I can mild you. There, let's
you
go with
out-mild
that.
somebody?
Yeah.
You like strip the mild buffalo sauce off of the wing?
Yeah. I just rinse it with water. Here we have a 1985 Chevrolet Cavalier convertible for just under $3,000 and less than 80,000 miles. Of all the cars to preserve in this condition, a red on red convertible Cavalier from 1985.
That's real red.
That is a lot of red. It's like too nice.
Wait. Oh, that's a cover. It's got like a cover for the convertible top that's red.
Spared no expense.
Like they came along and were like, wait a minute, this white top, not enough red.
And yeah, not that I have any sort of affinity for my past Cavalier ownership, but this popped up. That front seat is unfortunately got a rip in it, but
look at it.
But look at it. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it?
It looks like it's going to be really comfortable.
Yes. Very comfortable.
But probably kill you.
It'll probably kill you. It'll definitely not impress anybody.
It's got those same GM seatbelt buckles.
Yeah, but they got... No, I think it's just the red reflecting. No, maybe they do have plastic covers on them. I don't know. There's a lot of red, so it's hard to tell.
Right. Well, some of them had just like a little sheath that covered up the chrome buckle. But yeah, this is it. I mean, there's not much more to say about it.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about it, but like, man, look at this thing still around.
And is clean.
And that engine looks tragic.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Just look at the comparison of the alternator to the engine.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, this
Got
was
air conditioning.
Not the heyday.
Not the heyday, indeed.
Not that the next generation of Cavalier was the heyday, but they were at least transportation.
Yes.
Just the idea of somebody using this to get around, which obviously they didn't do very much of. 79,000 miles in.
I mean, that's
30
still
years.
a decent amount, though.
It is, but that's a long time. My car is from 2007, and it has 30,000 more miles, and I barely drive it.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. Like, it was like I really had to do a double take. Especially for a convertible in the Seattle area. This is not convertible.
Maybe that's why that's so few miles.
Right, yeah. The taillights are cool. The taillights have the 80s horizontal lines going through them, but other than that...
You're really grabbing for straws when you're looking at taillight signs.
True.
It's mildly interesting that it's around, that it exists. It's mildly interesting that it's in front of me in my eyeballs right now. So, I don't know, good job, somebody, or get better taste in vehicles, somebody. I'm not sure. Could be original owner.
Could be.
Didn't really say anything. No, just have fun with have fun in the sun with a classic car.
See, it's a classic.
Classic does not always mean good. ZK.
We have here a 1956 Ford Anglia?
Anglia?
Anglia sounds right. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, this one is very weird because it's for sale here in Texas, and I'm pretty sure these never came out in the States.
So it's like a Euro Ford.
Yeah, it's like a UK built Ford. They only had 2 pictures, but they said it was running as of 2018, so it's also a ran when parked. But it's this tiny little, really strange looking car by like our Ford standards.
Especially 50s Ford standards.
Yeah, it's got fender mirrors.
Fender mirrors, watch out. Yeah, well, it's Ford UK. Why is it left-hand drive?
It could be Ford, like Germany, or I don't know.
Yeah, this one I ran across this and I was like, what is this?
Listen, we are car people, but we don't know everything about cars. So if you ever see something like this and you have a wealth of information, please feel free. Because yeah, I would just like to know more about it.
And like the paint is pretty much gone, but it does look in otherwise decent shape.
Yeah. It's got
And then what Ford ran for it, and you'd be the only one ever.
Right. And the inside is very minimalistic, but kind of cool looking. Like I like that kind of minimalistic design for a car.
I know it's just the lighting, but it looks like it only has one pedal.
I think it's steering column separated pedals. So gas
but
pedal
the steering
here.
column like goes up into the dash, or is that just the
there's the brake pedal and there's the clutch. Okay.
It's just dark.
Yeah. I mean the shag carpet down there is really absorbing a lot of light.
It's got like that center dash, so maybe it's really easy to convert from left to right hand drive.
Well, yeah, there's just a bar down here, like just a bar that the steering column sits on.
Really good for the knee impact protection.
They came with a 1200cc side valve straight 4 that made a whopping 36 horsepower. Whopping. It's really, I'm just looking at like the Wikipedia. There's the 59 to 68 has this really cool rear window design. That's like a, I don't know. It's like a backwards slanted rear window that just looks really interesting. But otherwise, yep, this is the only one. Full stop.
Yeah, this is the only one. All kinds of trade interest: car, truck, boat, ATV, Jeep, side-by-sides, tractor, farm tools, 4x4, classic, old school, maybe something else, you never know. Sounds like a sub.
Do you think he'll take any guns?
I was about to say, guns is a very popular mode of monetary exchange
in Texas.
We call that currency.
Currency, that's the word I was looking for. God, I was really hunting.
That's how broke we are from all the mistakes we've made. We don't even remember what money is called. That's a sad truth. All right, well, I will quickly look at the results from last week's best ad. Oh, I hadn't looked at this since the video went up. And who do you guys think had the best ad last week?
Last time I checked, I was winning. Just saying.
I voted ZK.
I've forgotten what cars we had.
Kurt is an old man. All right, well, the results are Kurt J. Mack at 2%.
2%? What was mine?
Obviously, it wasn't very good.
No.
Wait, now I have to double check because I kind of forgot too. I know.
Oh, wasn't mine the truck that had the top chopped off?
Right.
And the fake
Yeah.
intake
All
that
right,
was just
and then
resting on the
Cone
hood.
had the
Go-kart, Brat.
go-kart, and I can't remember.
Come on, it
The
was
best
the
one.
best ad. You got to remember.
That was so long ago, and I was in an airport.
You think I watched this show?
All right. Well, mine was at 41% in second, and ZK was in first at 55% with the hookah party van thing.
Hookah.
The minivan. Well, it's not a minivan.
Not a
but
minivan, but a minivan.
Party van now.
Yeah, it's a party van.
Yeah. Club on wheels.
Yep. So that's the first win for ZK, I believe.
Woohoo!
You did it from the airport, no less.
I'll take that to the bank.
But I'm bringing the heat this week. ZK says that this is the hardest one to find. This is now like the thing you put most time
It's
into.
not the hardest necessarily, but it's the one that's like the most pressure.
Well, the only one that there's pressure for. Oh man.
Now there's something on the line.
Oh yeah, there's a lot on the line here. You guys should see the trophy we hand back and forth.
We spend all of the ad money on shipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. For me this week, there is stubby vans in the world. I've known of stubby vans. Those are things, VW buses. 1991 Chevrolet S10 short bed stubsters is news to me. When I first saw this, I assumed it was a golf cart that had like an S10 body cladding on it. But no. This is an S10 with a 4.3 liter V6, runs and drives. It's better than a golf cart. Ride anywhere.
Because it's a car.
Have title. Road ready. And it's hilariously small.
Yeah, I need like a person for scale. Why is that circled?
I circled that because I don't understand what it is.
Parking brake?
Maybe, but it has like a motorcycle or like
clutch?
a
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that
Maybe that's
is.
just the release.
Perhaps, but it's
But
truly
then
a
there's
mystery.
also something where the passenger's knees would be.
Right, which is
Is that a gun rack?
I believe a gun rack.
There's our currency.
Wow. Like the
Yeah.
bed's been morphed into the quote unquote body. The doors are just a cutout of like the shape of a seat. A lot
They basically cut out the cab. and then
basically
just squished what was together.
a lot of ingenuity here.
And I would say well done.
Yeah, I would definitely say well done for what
Like
it
the-
is.
The
However,
sheet
there's
metal or fiberglass, whatever they use to cap off the sides, looks well done.
it's easy to be well
Right.
done when you're the only one to have ever done something this insane. Yeah, this one was brought to me. Like I wasn't looking for anything like that. I just like logged into Marketplace and it was just there. And I'm like, oh man, the system knows me too much now. Head turner. Can't stick it.
Can't stick it. That I'm wondering what that means.
Like I'm from this area. I don't know what that means.
Can't stick it.
Is that a weird way of saying you can't get it stuck?
Is it?
I don't know.
Can't stick it.
Is it a 4x4?
Nah, it's 2-wheel drive.
Yeah. Is it better than a golf cart?
I guess, because you could drive it on the roads and it'd go road speeds.
But you can't drive it on the golf course.
Would you want to go road
I feel
speed?
like they would let you.
Does it have seatbelts? I didn't see any.
Oh, I
seatbelts.
highly doubt it.
or a place for them to connect to.
No, I highly doubt it.
And they just like remove the dash and just replace it with some sheet metal and bar stock.
Yeah, and an obviously like golf cart style front window.
Yeah.
I can't. Can you imagine what this did to like the suspension geometry? Like how much that must scrub on turns and stuff.
It can't be worse than a normal S10.
That's true. It's hard to make an S10 worse.
This one's just really in the why category.
Yeah. And then why sell it for $4,500? Like, what did it not pan out like they thought? Was it not as useful as they thought? Or did they think they really made something and they're like, I need to share this with the world? I don't know.
I don't know. It still looks like in usable condition. Like, if you were to build this thing for what I assume its usefulness would be, like, getting around your land, it still looks like it would do that.
Well, luckily,
maybe they just bought a golf cart.
Lucky for us, none of us have land.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's first for me.
That exists.
That exists. I just want to drive it once and slam on the brakes and see what happens. Pretty much what I want to do with any stubby vehicle. All right, Kurt, you gotta redeem yourself after last week here.
I'm not sure if this is gonna do it, but this is more about the ad than the subject of the ad. Clearly, we have here a car for sale for $2,200. A metallic tropical green 2-door automatic hatchback car. It's a workhorse that gets unbelievable mileage and takes regular gas. Doesn't have power steering, power locks or windows, or air conditioning. It has new tires, etc., etc., etc. Very good shape. Less than 27,000 miles?
Yes,
on what
really?
is actually a 94 Geo Metro. I don't believe them, first of all.
Why?
And this is as good of an image as we're going to get.
They walked outside, took a picture of it on the street from their porch with a bunch of drawers in the lawn. And I don't mean underwear.
No. Well, no. But this reminds me of that image of, like, my girlfriend just kicked me out and my stuff spread across the lawn. Like, it has that look to it. All right, let's get a better look at the car.
Yeah, let's enhance. There's something going on in the back. But
that looks like a Geo Metro.
Looks like a pretty clean Geo Metro.
Hey, as someone who bought a car based off of one picture
from a distance,
from far away,
can't go wrong. And they put
here I am.
so much effort into the ad, like.
Yeah,
let me go back. There we go.
I wonder if this goes back to the thing where maybe people assume you have to, like, pay per picture or something.
If you think you have to pay per picture, then go take a really good picture.
This gem won't last long.
The only thing gem-like about that is the color. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, and yeah, here I am worrying, like, oh man, if I the SVX, I gotta up for sale, I gotta clean it and take a bunch of good pictures. And
it'll
blah,
take
blah,
you
blah, blah.
2 full days to put up an ad.
The car has always been garaged. Wow, there's the picture of it parked
Yes.
on the street.
On the street.
None of
40 feet
these
away.
households around it have garages either.
No.
Is this like his girlfriend took a picture of his car or something and posted it for sale?
After she threw out all of his stuff. Huh. That's a mystery.
That is a Craigslist advertisement.
And
The
there's
best one I could find.
And there's plenty like it. Like, there's plenty of these style of ads too for usually things nobody wants.
They've all, like, moved to, like, Marketplace though since the whole $5 fee thing though.
I thought Marketplace made you pay too.
Do they?
I
don't
think you have to
so.
pay for Marketplace.
Huh. I'll have to
Sure.
look into that. I need to do some
ZK.
research.
ZK?
Yeah. Art car, $600, Houston.
All right, moving right along.
And that's it for the episode.
It's apparently an 88 Mitsubishi cargo van. It needs repair and, not running, has cracked head, custom paint job. Lots of fun to drive. Become a member of the art car community. So
Wow.
it's an art car. As in they've turned it into a piece of art, a work of art, if you could use those terms.
Best bumper sticker ever. Do not wash. This vehicle is undergoing a scientific dirt test. Yeah, like the paint's
Yeah.
gonna wash off.
So Houston has this thing of every year there's the art car parade, which is what it sounds like, and there's many different interpretations of what this means. Occasionally, these also show up on Craigslist and are always funny to see. Because this is a Mitsubishi van, like a cargo van. It's got no windows other than the front ones. Like, I've never seen one of these on the road not painted.
You mean like you've never seen one that's not an art car?
Yes.
That's weird.
I've never seen a Mitsubishi cargo van like just out in the wild,
Yeah,
and this one
I suppose
happens
not.
to have a very love and peace.
Well, it's such a lovely canvas, though.
Got the matching balloon.
Oh, I
Match
didn't
the
even
sides?
see that. That's adorable. So, do you buy this and have to paint it again? Like you couldn't go to this parade with the same paint scheme, right?
Honestly, I have no idea what the I don't know.
The rules.
Yeah.
I mean, according
the
to this
faux
ad,
pas.
all you have to do is buy it and you become a member of the art car community. Head needs to be welded and reinstalled. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how the best way to do that.
I have a feeling finding a head for this would not be easy.
No, but these are always endearing when they show up for sale because you just know they were a crappy car. Someone just spent a weekend with some paintbrushes doing whatever.
All right, hear me out. You're in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of cars.
I'm not entering the Saab. And
You
the art car
have
parade. You're not the first person
A
to say
significant
this.
other that likes to crochet.
Someone literally told me that last night.
Just like crochet paint job the entire Saab.
Yeah,
So,
like those
two problems.
trees that get covered in crochet.
Right.
Except a car.
Two problems. That doesn't get rid of the car.
It does. You couldn't see it anymore.
And it's a lot of work.
That's not a problem. I'm not doing the work, so it's not a problem. It's you're just using your fleet to the maximum potential.
This car has been listed for at least a month at this point. It's really hard to sell art cars.
I bet. Especially ones that don't run.
Yeah.
Did all of your ads not run? ZK? I'm thinking back.
Let's
to
go.
even,
Let's investigate this.
You might be right.
Not
you might
run.
be right.
This one did say it ran 2018.
was running in the summer of 2018. That sounds like a ran when parked.
Does say
euphemism.
was. I'll count it. Mistake, definite.
This one was very much not a run.
They put a gas can next to it to get it, or a diesel can next to it.
It probably runs. There's probably no drive shaft though.
And ran when parked.
I hope ran when parked, or else you're off the show if this thing runs.
I really doubt it. So ZK is so worried about buying another vehicle that he made sure he only looked at things that physically did not move. Well, good job.
You're not worried. Or I'm not worried. You're worried.
No, I think you're worried. Good job. Well, make sure you get your best ad vote in. It'll be on the little eye on the screen on YouTube. And if you're listening to a podcast, then you'll just have to send your vote in by telepathy.
I was like, you were going to say, send it in by mail to P.O. Box.
No, it's better than that. All right, everybody. That will do it for our show this week. I do hope you enjoyed. And do make sure you get your votes in. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Great job.